This week's Extra Life on F5 Live is proudly powered by Loot Crate. Whether you're a gamer, anime fan, or pop culture aficionado, Loot Crate has got a crate for you. They curate a bundle of collectibles, apparel, figures, and more that you can't find anywhere else. They get delivered directly to your door. It is like getting an awesome birthday present from yourself every month. And to learn more about the crates that are available and discounts that are going on, you can go to f5live.tv/lootcrate. We talk about Netflix a lot. This will be the first time that we have a conversation about them in this section of the show. Netflix Gaming is officially available for iOS and Android. If you don't know, Netflix Games is similar to Apple Arcade or Google Play Pass, where you get... you've got your subscription, you get games included, there's no in-app purchases, the whole game is available for you, but the difference is that A, it's from Netflix, and so it's not directly from your store, and B, it's included in your Netflix subscription. Interestingly, during the writing process of this article, things changed. To the best of my knowledge, I wrote an explanation on how to access Netflix games in the article, and I can't replicate it today. So let me tell you how it was supposed to work and how it's working right now. It's supposed to be on your bottom tab bar. There should be a games category. You tap it, and it should take you and show you a list of games, trailers below it. You click the game, you get full details, and then you can go to your store to download it. And I guess you sign in with your Netflix account, and it knows who you are. It knows what language you have selected on Netflix. If you don't have one selected, or English is your selection, it will go to English. If you do have one selected, the games will try to localize to your language. Not every language is theoretically supported, but they want to be able to support this to as many gamers as possible, which I think is pretty cool. That is not exactly how it's been working. Now, I am going to grab my phone while I'm talking right now. I'm going to open Netflix and see if we're back to normal.
I'm going to do the same.
Okay, no. The search icon has come back on the bottom bar, which... it had left the bottom bar while I was writing this article, and it has returned. Instead, what you do is you scroll down, and there is a content row. For me, it has been averaging either the 4th or 5th row. Right now, it's the 4th. Last night, it was the 5th. And it says it's got the Netflix N and then the word games, and there you can see the games that are available. Currently, there are 6, but the plan is to have more with time. And they really are like supporting as many people as possible. You've got the games tab at the bottom?
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, I'm going to open the Android device now and do this again. Because
and I indeed have the 6 games that you said.
Okay. Oh, it's on my Android device now. I have never seen it on the Android device. I had only seen it on the iPhone, but it is absolutely on my Android device now. It was not last night.
Now, I'm not going to check this while we're on the air, but I want to know if you know this. Are any of these games available anywhere else?
Let me do a little bit here, and then we'll see if that answers your question, because I don't know. I don't entirely know what you're asking, but I think I'm about to answer it anyway. So,
okay.
So Xbox Game Pass and Facebook Gaming, right? They were prevented from being in the iOS store because of the way they work, right? They're a fully internal game catalog that runs independent of the stores. Netflix has taken a different tact here. When you click on one of these games, it takes you to your device's app store. So if you're on Android, it takes you to the Android store. If you're on iPhone, it takes you to the Apple App Store. and you download the game from there, and then you log in with your Netflix account to unlock all of the content. I believe that many of these games don't require a Netflix subscription to be able to play, but there is the possibility of in-app purchases for features. But if you're a Netflix subscriber, you get all of it for free. For example, the one of the games that's on there, well, there's 2 Stranger Things games, right? And I believe that at least one, if not both, are in the Xbox store with in-app purchases. So that's your difference. That's how they got around what Microsoft and Facebook were dealing with. Apple said, if you put them in the store and allow us to track all of the games and approve them, then we'll allow you to do this. But Microsoft can't really do that because of the way it works. But Netflix could. So you can skip the Netflix app entirely and just go to Google Play or to the App Store and search for the games and find them yourself. So did that answer your question, Abram?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So the answer is you don't need Netflix to get these games, but you might get the benefit of things you would otherwise pay for in terms of in-app purchases.
Exactly. So it's very, in that way, it is exactly like Apple Arcade or Google Play Pass, in that the apps are available and you could download the games yourself if you wanted to. But if you have the subscription, then you get the in-app purchases for free. So it's a cool idea. Obviously, anything Stranger Things is something that is going to appeal to me. I did a Pikmin Bloom live stream the day that one came out, and I'm thinking maybe PLUGHITZ Live Unplugged episode in the near future. I might fire up the Stranger Things game. One of them, there's 2, and play that on stream as well. We'll see. But yeah, it's a cool idea. Several of the games are ones that are interesting to me. Obviously, both of the Stranger Things ones. There is looks like a physics puzzle game called Teeter Up that looks like a lot of fun, and I feel like I shouldn't install it, mostly because I feel like I'm going to lose time to it.
Yeah. I spend enough time. I waste enough time in my life playing a bubble pop game that I really, really shouldn't. Like, the amount of hours of my life that I've played that, but it's always at kind of a downtime time. Like, oh, I'm on the train. Okay, what am I going to do?
Train time.
Or, oh, but yeah, there's many times I've just been kind of sitting around, like, they're playing like this bubble pop game that I've been playing for like the last year, and I don't need another thing like that to involve me. It's bad enough how many millions of hours I've spent popping bubbles, but anyway, yeah, I would like to see. I mean, it would be nice if there was something like this where you could actually have a Netflix of games. I mean, there have been things like this before, like GameFly or whatever, where you could rent games. I mean, if it was allowing you to do this with, I mean, it would be lovely to combine this sort of thing with NVIDIA GeForce Now.
Right. Which, in theory, that concept is kind of what Xbox Game Pass is, right? Because you've got Xbox games, you got PC games, you got mobile games, you can stream PC games on mobile. That's kind of what Xbox Game Pass is, certainly on the Ultimate side. And a lot of people are getting into this space because every time I get a quarterly wrap up of what the gaming space is doing, and it is only going up, so it makes sense. And with something like this, Netflix has been doing a lot of like cross promotional stuff. They're working with Walmart on merchandise that'll be available in Walmarts nationwide, and they've got these tie-in games. It makes sense to me. So,
yeah. The question: what other Netflix property would you want to see gamified?
Would I want to see gamified, or do I think is probably next?
I guess either one.
Because Squid Game is next. Guaranteed.
A game of that? I don't know.
If I had to put money down on something, I would say that's their next property. What would I like to see? They've got a great sci-fi universe created in Black Mirror. That would be fun, and it could be done episodic the way Telltale Games used to do. So there'd be a lot of fun that could be had in there. I don't know. That one's been in my head.
Umbrella Academy.
Technically,
although I don't know what the game would be.
Technically not theirs, so it would be a little complicated.
Because
they'd have to license from Black Horse? Is it Black Horse that owns Umbrella Academy? Anyway, they'd have to license for another medium, and it seems like the owner would probably put that game out. But I could see Netflix teaming up with them to put the game out and then make it available in Netflix games.
Yeah, on the other hand,
I don't know what it would be.
That show is not necessarily gamified. I don't know. Yeah, it's a good question. These are all mobile games, so it's hard for me to see like what's the what you really want out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, I have one here.
Go ahead. I can't wait.
Here's my $1 million suggestion. They should make a trivia game that is branded with the movies or toys that made us series, which I very strongly recommend if you haven't seen them, especially the movies that made us.
What an interesting idea that is. It's a great idea. And of course, that would be a smart move. Trivia games are gaining in popularity again, so much so that Xbox is considering bringing back 1 versus 100. Please. This phone still rings with the 1 versus 100 theme song because of the Xbox game.
Yeah.
Although its text tone is the orange portal gun. And this one's text tone is the blue. Anyway. Yeah. So trivia games are real good. That would be a good way to do it. If they could figure out how to do a game version of The Circle, I bet they'd have success. Because that show's real popular. And Survivor has gotten into like a second screen type experience with a trivia game happening during the show. So maybe there'd be a way to do that too. Yeah, there's properties that they could rely on. It would be interesting. I would bet a lot on Squid Game being the next one, because they're desperately trying to capitalize on that. But they do have some properties that would work as opposed to just trying to capitalize on. But yeah, the 6 that are out there now are just the beginning. They're bringing more games in the near future, and I cannot wait to spend some time with these games. I'm legitimately excited about it. Hello, YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of F5 Live Refreshing Technology. If you did, please subscribe to the channel down below, and of course hit the notification bell, because we know that subscriptions don't mean much on YouTube anymore. If you've got topics that you'd like us to talk about in the future, please comment them down below. And if you'd like to not follow us on YouTube, there's lots of ways that you can follow along with our content by going to plughitslive.com/subscribe. There you'll see all of our shows and all of the ways that you can watch, listen, and follow along.